Aloha and welcome back to another video. I'm playing Max Payne once again. This is part 2 of my Max Payne playthrough. I'm going to be commentating on it and breaking up into multiple parts. This part's not going to be as long as the last part, but hopefully it's, I don't know, because like I asked for feedback in the last video and hopefully I'll get some feedback, but even if I do, this is being recorded directly after, or this is being, what should I say, edited and processed directly after I processed the last video on the same day. So whatever your feedback is.
Something big was going down in Roscoe Street. Maybe that's why Alex had wanted to meet me here. Maybe not. One way or the other.
Your feedback won't take effect until probably the third part. Just so you all know. And this level's a lot of fun. It starts to get more difficult though. Didn't die or anything, don't worry. But I wouldn't do that on you. But yeah, the level definitely steps up in terms of its difficulty, and there's quite a few of these boxes that hide different things, including ammo and sometimes even painkillers. So it's good to, break those, but oftentimes I kind of waste ammo getting ammo by shooting them. You should really switch to your lead pipe, which is the melee weapon you have up until the first level of the second part. The game's split up into 3 different parts. Each part has anywhere from 5 or 6 chapters up to like 8 chapters, 5 to 8 chapters around that. And the first chapter of Act 2, or first chapter of Part 2, I guess is what it's called, you get a baseball bat, and that's a longer range melee weapon than the lead pipe. You get those little grates up above. Sewer grates are great because you get to see, like, it almost looks like it's moving, the white up there, so you could imagine that it's... Well, you guys should listen to this.
The station's not secured. Someone decided to play hero upstairs. That's all we need.
Anyways, the guy's ringtone is da 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 da. It's like a Wild West theme, I'm pretty sure, a popular Wild West theme, which kind of shows the game's influences. Once again, kind of the gun fu kind of Wild West slow-mo action of the game. So it shows some inspirations that Remedy had there, and there's a few other things like that, like John Woo. What's the password? John Who. Okay, John Woo. So that's another scene you'll see later in the game that references. Love their dialogue. I could stop in every single room and listen to their dialogue, and I'd love it. But there's a reference to the director John Woo later on that you'll see. And as I was saying, the sewer grates up above there, some of the fog that goes. You can see the fog basically pass above the sewer grates. It looks like, or at least it appears to be. So you can see that it's basically the better save here. You can infer that it's the storm raging up above, which is quite cool and a cool atmospheric detail that really adds to the world design. You can see I'm getting shot here and taking a good amount of damage. This area, yeah, again, this level is what separates the men from the boys, even on fugitive difficulty. The first time you play this, you're probably definitely gonna foreshadow it. Oh, that's something. Never mind. Anyway, so got them. Had to use some of my painkillers there, and you see that pile of gold. That's cool. Oh, I missed. Oh. Man, he got me good, didn't he? I wasted all those painkillers. I could wait for my health to go down. The health actually, over time, it's cumulative. It's similar to Earthbound. I know. Max Payne and Earthbound being related, actually they kind of are, because the damage rolls. So just because you get hit, the blood, you'll see that the red there is in different shades, and the higher up it is, the higher up part of it is a lower shade, and that's because that's what the damage is going to go to, basically, but it doesn't fully go up to that point until 10 seconds later or whatever. This is funny.
Thank you.
There's a few areas in the game that are like that. Grab some painkillers though. Thankfully there's some there. Nice couch.
The bank robbers have been after Acer Corporation bonds. The Acer success story had recently been on every channel and on the cover of every magazine.
Foreshadowing. Once again, so the damage rolls and down or up. So as you can see, it's going down because I took some painkillers, but it doesn't.
Right back at you.
This is Deputy Chief Jim Bravura from the NYPD. You are to cease your criminal activities and surrender immediately.
Sure thing, Jim. Me and the boys have been talking, and everyone's real sorry. They'll never do it again.
Who the hell is this?
Being placed at the scene of a bank robbery wouldn't have tipped the odds in my favor.
And
The bank
yeah,
robbers had left
yeah.
their tools on the table. Judging by the detonators, the crooks had bought enough explosives to send Lady Liberty into orbit.
Like the Lady Liberty we saw in the last video. If you haven't checked that out, definitely check that out. The first part, there was a picture hanging on the wall of Lady Liberty, so that's what I was referring to. And here, we're gonna get jumped here. We're gonna get spooked. I know it, I can sense it. What's funny is there's actually, you saw some holes in the wall, there's actually, there you go, and they pushed that in front of it. How did they do that? How did they do that in time? Jeez, and it like slid almost. What? Where did it even come from? I don't know where that came from. Got to pick up that ammo there. There's actually a number of holes in the walls that you might have saw back there, and there's actually an Easter egg that if you kill a bunch of rats and then proceed right after that to throw a grenade in the wall, the rats will then come out wielding pistols and shoot at you. It's kind of a cool Easter egg, but I didn't do it because it takes quite a bit of time to kill all the rats, and it's kind of suicide because they have quite an armada.
I nearly shot you.
Alex, I'm glad to see you.
What the hell's going on? There are more corpses here than at the city morgue.
It's an armed
Oh, that
robbery.
music isn't good.
Job straight to the Roscoe Bank.
Oh,
vault
no.
from the old station wall. Is this why? This is Lupino's gig?
This is Lupino's doing? Lupino's men? Really?
You sure know how to pick a place? Can you get through?
No, it's locked. We gotta get out of here. If it's Lupino, it's... Alex? Alex!
I know. Yeah. Man, everybody dies in a noir
There was
video
nothing I
game,
could
don't
do.
they?
He was dead. I could tell by the empty, accusing stare of his eyes.
And the blood. The blood gives it away, too. It's funny because he's not even actually looking at him. His face is, like, down, like, facing, like, the wall. So, better go back and pick up these painkillers here. But yeah, the armada of rats is just, there's a clock in the game. The clock doesn't work, sadly. There's a number of clocks in the game. And the poster on the wall there, those are actually the developers of the game. They couldn't hire actors, so most of the people, if not, or all the people, I should say, all the people in the game that use their faces are actually modeled after the creators or, the development team or the development team's family or friends. Max Payne is Sam Lake, the writer of the, first Max Payne, or Max Payne 1 and 2, and, kind of the lead creative writer, director of the game, and his mother, and as a matter of fact, is the big villain that we'll see later on in the game, which is hilarious because, he has to basically hunt down and kill a character that was his mother, or it has the head of his mother, so that was pretty funny. Yeah, so that was funny, and there's that clock back there. Sadly, the clock doesn't actually work, but some clocks in video games do work, though. I actually kind of like to pay attention to that. I shared a screenshot in my Discord not very long ago of Max Payne 1, of Pajama Sam 1, the first Pajama Sam game from 1996, and a little known point and click game. And the funny thing is that actually has a working clock in it. And some games nowadays don't even have that, so that's there's more of those posters. That's kind of a cool thing I like to pay attention to, of if games have clocks in them in a lot of areas where clocks will be, and if the clocks work or not.
Alex had kept me relatively sane for the past 3 years. Now I didn't know how I felt. Somehow he had stumbled upon something big and ended up stepping on Jack Lupino's toes.
You gotta love the snow in this game. I really think it gives the game a very thick and looming atmosphere, thick like the snow in a way. And I think that the kind of, what would you call it, painterly photography, the painterly effects that they add, or the aspects of these photos that they painted onto, with the loading screens and the comic book panels, having the snow there and kind of the dark shadows all kind of helps add kind of much needed texture and depth within the photos and depth within the artistry. It kind of gives it a what would you call it? I don't know what word I'm looking for here, but it kind of makes it look it makes it look more unique and kind of gives it a textured look to it, like it would
Lupino
be
ran
a
his
real
record of
photograph.
sex, drugs, and contract killings from a sleazy hotel in a slum block of tenements. The NYPD was closing in. I could hear the sirens. Their wail was a crescendo. Lupino thought he could get us by taking Alex out and leaving me to take the fall for it. All he had gotten was my attention.
Areas are just detailed
I
enough
went
to
for the
stand
hotel
out amongst
first.
the snow.
It was a sad old thing with flickering lamps and faded colors, cheap mobster punks and tired-eyed prostitutes. I walked straight in, playing It Bogart, like I'd done 100 times before. The place was run by a couple of murdering mobsters with shark smiles. The Finito brothers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Payne in the butt. Payne to the max.
You're killing me. You make
Penis
that
in
up
my
yourselves or get
anus.
some wine out downstairs to come up with it? Don't answer that. A rhetorical question. I got something for the boss. Lupino around?
That kind of depends on who's asking. A friend or a junk squad plan. Don't answer. It's one of them, how do you put it, rhetorical questions. Lupino ain't here, but he said bye.
Lupino wasn't in his cheap hotel. Instead, I ran into the Finito brothers.
The ironic thing is
My
that there's
car had been blown,
actually
the door slammed
a
shut behind me, and then I was dodging
gay
bullets
porn
like
star
raindrops.
that has the name of Max Payne. That's his porn star name. So, yeah, penis in my anus. It fits with that little quote right there, a pain in the butt. I'm going to end this right now. That's a weird place to end it, but I'm going to end this right now. Thank you for watching. See you guys in the next one. If you enjoyed this, tell me in the comments below. If you have any recommendations of what I could do next, definitely tell me. And, yeah, definitely check out the next video when it comes out tomorrow, or, whenever this is posted, the day after is likely when the next part's going to be. I have a lot of fun doing these. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you want more Max Payne in the meantime, definitely check out the links in the description down below. I have a link to a mega playlist of a bunch of Max Payne videos that I like and that aren't mine, and a playlist of videos that are mine that are Max Payne clips from my secondary channel. So check out those. Thanks for watching, and aloha.